Good morning, good afternoon, whatever time of day it is that you are listening, folks. Thank you very, very much for listening. Date today is the 6th of June, year of our Lord 2020-25. Welcome to yet another edition of the Coping Hour, hosted by Nicholas Sinkle, a.k.a. Motanoa. It's D-Day. Not only is it D-Day, happy anniversary to those out there celebrating the liberation of France back in 1944. America and various nations that would later come to form a small portion of NATO stormed the beaches of France and killed a bunch of Nazis, and then saved Europe. Saved all of Europe and ended World War II shortly thereafter. About a year and change later, World War II ends in Europe, and then a few months after that ends in the South Pacific. So, happy anniversary, happy 60, spending a little bit too much time on this, Nick. Got a lot of stuff to cover today. Happy 61st, set the math, 81st anniversary of D-Day, the liberation of France. We are taping this, folks, in the fourth quarter of Game 1 of the NBA Finals between the Oklahoma City Thunder and the Indiana Pacers. Oklahoma City currently up 94-79. Jalen Williams just had a steal and a breakaway dunk, and then the Pacers called timeout, and Jalen Williams was like, and he was going berserk. He was going sicko mode, like crazy style. And I was like, okay, I think I'm good here, because that was kind of it's kind of going to be the problem with this series, I think. This is what's going to be tricky about the Pacers, no matter how many games this series goes, is for people like me who just have to go to bed, because I'm gonna be woken up between 5 and 6 in the morning because of my kid. In the middle of the night, I'm gonna be woken up at least twice, maybe 3 times, if it's a good night. So I'm not gonna get that much sleep as it is. So just staying up late. I'm taping this at 9:30. That's late for me at this point. I can't, you know what I mean? And I still have to do an hour and do all the rest of the show. I'm only saying this to say, when a game is out of hand, I would like to be able to turn it off comfortably, even if it is the finals. I can't with this Pacers team, because you kind of just don't know. That's been their whole identity this season, is they're down by 100, and then as soon as they hit the 8-minute mark in the fourth quarter is when they're like, oh, fuck, right, sorry, we have to win the game, sorry. And then they do, inexplicably, almost every single time. And so I will be keeping a watchful eye just to make sure that the Pacers don't actually come back in this one. But something to monitor throughout the series is oh shit, I can't turn this off. I don't want to say like ability. I don't know. I'm losing myself here. Why don't we just talk a little bit about the game, folks? I gotta tell you, I have spent the last couple of months just having a hard time, I guess, being cool with the fact that Oklahoma City was good. I've been vocal about it a small handful of times, but I try to just kind of not talk about it, because ultimately I'm only hating, and it's not really for any real reason, right? A conspiracy actually maybe worth putting on your desk. I made a community post about this the other day. Folks, I think it's important whenever a conspiracy theory comes across my desk, if I think that it has any credence, I will pass it along to you and communicate it to the best of my abilities. I have a new one for you, and it is that Hurricane Katrina was actually a controlled weather event to see if Oklahoma City could sustain an NBA franchise. Very famously, the New Orleans Hornets at the time moved to Oklahoma City temporarily while the hurricane damage was, I don't know, New Orleans was fucked up, so they had to fix everything. And so the basketball team had to go play in Oklahoma City. That went well. And that's all I have on the theory, by the way. That's all that I have. So you think about shit like that. You think about how they even got the franchise in the first place. Pretty lame. I don't want to say suspect or questionable, but just lame. Kind of cursed franchise, it seems like. I don't know. I don't think Oklahoma should have a professional sports team. I think that's fucking insane. And so it just kind of rubs me the wrong way, right? I say all of that just to say, I'm watching game 1 tonight against Indiana. And it kind of all went out the window. it's crazy to me what the chemicals in my brain do when I know it's the finals. I watch them do the same shit all year in the regular season, in the postseason, in games that matter, big-time games. Game 7 at home against Nikola Jokic, the best player in the world, right? And they clowned the shit out of Denver for most of that game. I think it was like 42-40 at one point, and then you blinked, and Oklahoma City was up by 45 points, right? That was 5 minutes later of real time that happened, right? They've played in some really big games, and I just haven't cared about it at all. But I'm telling you, man, knowing that it was the finals and watching them operate like a damn train, both in their demeanor with how they go up and down the court on both ends, and with just their consistency, right? Like, you think about public transit, a train, you're expecting one should be arriving every 7 to 10 minutes, right? Like clockwork, this is the schedule of this thing. The Oklahoma City Thunder, just very like regimented in how they play basketball. Like the entire first half of game 1, if they're not forcing turnovers, Indiana had 20 damn turnovers in the first half. We're still only down by like 10 points, which is insane. We'll talk about all that in just a second, right? Like hey, Indiana actually had a sneaky chance at winning this game if they didn't have. We'll talk about that in just a second, right? Okay, if Oklahoma City is going down on offense, right? They're bringing the ball up the floor. They run a damn pin down action out of a horn set for Jalen Williams or Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. Whoever puts the shot up, if it rims out, the second it comes off of the rim and Miles Turner comes down with it, or a Pacers player comes down with it, the second they realize that the possession has exchanged hands, Jalen Williams, Chet Holmgren, and Shai Gilgeous-Alexander are on the opposite end of the floor, like forming a wall. And then you have Lou Dort, and then you have, pick a guy, throw a dart on the board. You have Isaiah Joe out there. And they're just so, it's clockwork with this team. They're just so disciplined, and they're so well conditioned, right? And that was something that I think got the Knicks. It was a myriad of things that got the Knicks in that Pacers series, but I just thought that one of them was the war of attrition piece of the whole thing. Now, I don't know, admittedly, I didn't spend that much time looking at box scores during that series, so I don't know, like, minutes distributions. Was Tibbs doing the Tibbs thing where he was only playing like 8 guys and dudes were playing 47 minutes? Because if that was the case, then yeah, of course, Indiana's going to tire them out. But that's also just kind of how Indiana plays. Like, you talk about Oklahoma City being a freight train on both ends of the floor. Well, that's also Indiana's whole deal, is they are just constantly running around and they're constantly on 10, right? Like, I swear every single player on the Pacers has to cover at least like 6 miles in a game. I think Haliburton actually might. Am I thinking of somebody else? I think there's a stat out there that like the average distance traveled by Tyrese Haliburton in a game. It was either 4 or it was 6 miles. Those are two very different numbers, but it may have been 6, but I know that it was a lot. It's a quick little sidebar, or well, not really sidebar, but just a little nugget to that little sub take to that take. Years ago, like 8 years ago, I remember Ish Smith leading the league in like his miles per hour, his average miles per hour on the floor. So Ish Smith, I don't remember what it was. If it was like 17 miles an hour was his average like speed when he was around the floor. I don't know what it was. Makes sense for a guy like Ish Smith though, right? But I don't want to stray too far, Nick. Go back to the Oklahoma City thing. I was just so damn impressed. And it's funny to me, man, that if you just showed me the blank footage of that game with no score bug or anything like that and no commentary, and you didn't tell me it was an NBA Finals game, which, by the way, would have been easy because there's literally nothing that's on the court these days to identify that it is the NBA Finals. There's a little thing like signage that they have on the bottom of the stanchion that says NBA Finals. That's literally the only thing on the floor that says it's an NBA Finals game. It's a fucking travesty, and I really hope I remember to circle back and talk about that as well, because I do have a spiel on that. But okay, if I just thought that was a regular game and I was watching it, I would have been like, yeah, I'm sorry that I keep just saying the same damn thing here, but it's just that it was the finals, and I'm just so impressed by a team's ability to say, hey, this is ours. Like, this is ours. We've been playing this entire season knowing that this was going to happen, that we were going to be right here. Well, guess what? We got here, And this is ours. We're the best team in the NBA. This is our championship. This is our window, right? And if you're Oklahoma City, you're like, this is when our window starts, by the way. And it's so damn impressive to me to think that, like, dog, this team, you know what? And by the way, I'm saying a lot of this shit like they already got one hand on the trophy, right? It was just one game. And as I'm saying all of this, why don't we do one quick? There's no fucking way. There's no fucking way this is happening. There are 6 minutes left in the game, and Indiana is down by 4. I'm talking about Oklahoma City right now like they got one hand on the damn trophy. And I said this was going to happen. I said it was going to happen. It's 98-94 with 6 minutes left. If you're watching today's episode, if you're able to watch, I'm showing it on the screen to prove to you this is happening in real time. I'm going to keep talking. I'm going to keep, how do I do this? Do I pull up the game and I will be troubleshooting this live, by the way. I will be leaving this in the show. This is some inside baseball, how the sausage is made. You get to see how, in real time, I decide to cover all of the biggest stories and cover them from all angles. The biggest story right now being that the Indiana Pacers are still very much in game 1. Okay, Oklahoma City is clearly at the line because they just went up 1 point. This is what I cannot do is just, okay, I'm just going to keep talk, but I don't know how to keep talking about this. Okay. I'm Malika Andrews calling an earthquake right now. Just get it together, brother. If I'm the Pacers, here's how I got it. I'm sorry, I got it. I got it. No, I know where I want to go with this. This is when I'll do the NBA Finals thing. Okay. I talk about there being no signage. There's no like graphics that they're lasering in digitally on the court that says NBA Finals, which is something that they do, right? Like sometimes it'll be Skims or right now because it's the finals, YouTube TV is like the major sponsor of the finals. So you'll always see YouTube TV digitally lasered in on the court. There was just another one. I don't remember what they were just showing it, but they kind of like cycle through a bunch of those, right? We can't get one for the NBA Finals. Have you guys seen all of this like prototype technology for like LED courts, and the different like packages that they'll be able to do? Okay, so we know that that's going to be a thing. If we don't get like NBA Finals, look, it sounds like it's not that big of a deal. I don't know if this is going to, like, people do. This is a very popular take, what I'm saying, but I'm saying I don't know if it's just talked about so much that we're all kind of like, all right, we get it. People want like a big fucking trophy at half court again. It's not even that, dog. Can it just say NBA Finals on the actual court? Because this is, I think, why it frustrates me so much, right? Is because if I look at the most extreme example of a sport and its championship in American sports, it's the Super Bowl, right? It is a cultural occasion. The media blitz. There's a bye week, so you spend 2 damn weeks talking about one game, and then all around the country, people who don't even watch football are locked into this game. And honestly, sneaky, a good Super Bowl Sunday get-together has the potential to be like the best get-together like event that you have for the entire year, right? And for me, like, I think a good Super Bowl party can be better than like Thanksgiving with your family. Or like Christmas with your family, or like name something. I think because it's just a fun occasion. I don't know if people outside of America know how big of a deal like Super Bowl Sunday is, right? Like it's a whole event, and the pageantry of it is like very much ingrained in the production and the broadcast of the game, right? You go down a level from that. You could really do a coin flip, I think, between the World Series and the Stanley Cup in terms of how it's presented. I think both sports do a good job. If you talk about the pageantry of it with the Super Bowl, I think both teams do a good job of that. It's really hard to beat the Stanley Cup, though, man. I mean, the NHL playoffs are some of the best playoffs that we have in the entire world, and the Stanley Cup really does feel like almost royal, which maybe is a silly word to use for such like a violent caveman sport. But, I mean, it's Lord Stanley, you know what I mean? So it's just I'm being very long-winded, but I'm kind of going to say the same thing about baseball. Kind of just Control-C, Control-V, what I just said about hockey. You could say the same thing about the World Series, right? Like, there's a passion, there's a romance is a good word for baseball, right? There's a romance to the World Series. That like time of year when the weather is kind of changed over and it's just that crisp air and it's playoff baseball and it's great, right? The NBA has fucking none of that. Nothing that I just said in the last like 2 or 3 minutes. The NBA does not have any of that. The finals are just kind of a series that gets played in June, and you know that it's the two. You know what I mean? I just think you lose a lot of identity when you don't like include the history or like the iconic like silhouette of the trophy in the I don't know. I don't know, man. Like I'm trying to think of a like the Champions League, I guess, doesn't really change that much except like the wrapping around like the lower level of the field where they like make it blue, like they make it the champion, and it's fucking PS5 everywhere and shit like that, and like the Champions League logo. So I guess they kind of changed it a little bit. You're also not going to put like logos and shit on a soccer field. That's not what I'm not asking for that at all. That's insane. I'm not saying that they should do that. I don't know. It's just different. Let's do a live check-in. Pacers 98, Oklahoma City 105. We got about 3.5 minutes. I think I'm safe, right? At this point, I think I'm safe. Can we go back to talking about Oklahoma City like they have one hand on the trophy and like because I don't know. It's just nothing to me, man. A team is like, yeah, we almost won 70 games. This is what I was saying, dude. It's like they won 20 games like 4 years ago. It was not that long ago. And you just think about how meticulously Oklahoma City's roster has been constructed. And like over the years, how high volume Sam Presti has been with drafting. Like try to think of a guy in the last 5 years that Oklahoma City has drafted that has not worked out. Like at all, period. They've broken up at this point. We covered Giddey in the last episode. We talked about how they parted ways at the perfect time. As soon as they were like, Josh Giddey is a 0 for us at the end of last season, they flipped him into fucking Alex Caruso. Insane. Josh Giddey was good for the Bulls this year, by the way. So I'm not saying like that the trade didn't. It sneaky has been like a win-win trade, honestly. But one of them is playing in June right now, and then the other one, you know what I mean? So, okay, you have Josh Giddey. Other than that, there's got to be one more. Poku. Aleksej Pokuševski? Is that what you said his first name? Was it Aleksej Pokuševski? Poku. That shit did not work at all. It was cute. The truth is, I'm glad that we don't have to lie about the, like, Thon Maker, Bol, like archetype of player anymore, like dudes with that build. I'm glad that we don't have to. Poku, I should say Poku being another kind of one of those guys who were like freakishly long and like unnaturally tall. I'm glad that we don't really have to deal with pretending that those guys are good anymore. And I think that you're probably thinking to yourself, Victor fucking Wembanyama. Yes, I know. Like, I think the point there is like, Victor Wembanyama achieved what everybody thought the aforementioned guys were going to be, and it's like, okay, now we can... I'm losing myself at this point. There's a point in there somewhere. There's a take in here somewhere. I'm going to stop digging for the take, though. I'm going to quit. I may have been 2 millimeters away. I could have been one more... I could have been like 15 more words away from finding what the take was going to be. I'm walking away right now. I'm hitting the button. Deal. That's a deal. I'm getting out of here. I'm taking my money and I'm going home. But there's 2, right? So, okay, you had Josh Giddey, you had Poku. Those kind of didn't work out. How about literally everybody else that did, which was 90% of the guys that played in the game for Oklahoma City tonight were guys that they drafted. Otherwise, I don't know who was there. There was Alex Caruso playing big minutes in this game. Isaiah Hartenstein. Other than that, who didn't they draft? Well, Shea, they didn't draft Shea at the fucking MVP, the best player on the team. I always forget about that. Which is weird. I mean, people, especially, recently, people love to put up the graphic of like the Clippers giving up. Oklahoma City giving, or wait, how the fuck would that have worked? I'm sorry. Yes, the Clippers giving up 10 picks and Shea Gilgeous-Alexander for just Paul George. You always see the screenshots of that, right? But I just always forget that. It just seems like he's kind of always been there. But no, he's not always been there. And just to put a bow on the Oklahoma City thing, I think I've talked a little bit too much about them because I still don't care about them. But they're really fucking good, right? Shea Gilgeous-Alexander. Earmuffs. I'm going to cuss, okay? So put your earmuffs on. That's one bad motherfucker, man. Holy shit. Oh, my God, man. He's just so good. He's so talented. He's so good. Another thing we talked about in the last episode was like, it bothers me when Shea does the baiting shit because he doesn't have to. Because he can give you 40 and not go to the line. That literally never fucking happens is all. I don't know. I guess I can pull it up right here, right? But I don't know how many times he ended up going to the line tonight. I know in the first half it was not that many. I know you're fucking lying. You're fucking lying to me right now. Indiana 105, Oklahoma City 108. There are 2 minutes left in this game. Are you fucking kidding me? Are you kidding me? I'm going to very carefully look at Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. Put up 27 shots. He went to the line 8 times. Yeah, dog. He's got 36. 3 steals, 3 assists, 4 boards. Man. Wait, so he had 36 on 27 shots? I mean, whatever. He's 50% from the field, 50% from 3, 87.5%. So I don't know if you can tell what's happening right now. I'm stalling because I'm scared that Indiana's about to win this fucking game. And that the way that I will cover it is by watching it happen I'm watching. Oh my God. I'm literally watching the Pacers potentially make this comeback in game 1 like on a damn telegraph. Like my Wi-Fi is like boop, 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 boop. It's fucking Morse code. I'm like watching the Titanic sink and there's nothing that I can do about it. Oklahoma City, somebody just did something. They're up by 5. A minute 22 left. I'm gonna keep going, man. I'm gonna keep going. We're gonna keep talking about Shai. He's sick. He's just so damn good. And you watch him go coast to coast. Caruso, another guy sneaky. You watch him go coast to coast. It just kind of happens. I don't know, man. I was doing the mental exercise the whole. As much as I was watching game 1, clearly as you're seeing it in real time. I'm not watching the end of the game, but I'm watching Shai. He has 11 points in the first 5 minutes, and it's just all like he's just hooping. And I'm like, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, under my breath, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, NBA champion, Finals MVP. I'm like, fuck. I still can't believe that he is an MVP. I just can't. I can't believe another player from Oklahoma City won. Sneaky wow, they've had a lot of MVPs, like a weird number of MVPs for being Oklahoma. Shout out to the fans, though. I mean, I give them shit for not deserving an NBA team. But they, without question, Oklahoma City, without question, have the best fan participation of any team in the NBA, period. When it comes to wearing the shirts that are handed out, I mean, it's a 95% at worst. Participation. When it comes to just kind of standing all the time for the whole game, they stand a lot. Okay, yeah, you're into the game. Fuck yeah, that's cool. I like that. Seems a little aggressive. I don't know. They do a lot of chants. Just good fans. Really, really good fans. Other teams that do the jersey, or rather do the shirts really well. I think Minnesota's good at it. I believe Indiana's pretty decent at it too. Denver, I think, is pretty decent. I think Minnesota's probably number 2, though. I think Indiana's good at it. Detroit was not as good as I was hoping that they were going to be. Oklahoma City, without question, number 1 in that department. Yeah. Let's do it. Let's do another quick refresh here, folks. Let's see if we're doing. Let's see. You're fucking lying. You're joking. This is a joke. I'm getting goofed. I'm getting clowned on right now, man. This is not real. 109 Indiana, 110 Oklahoma City, 22 and a half seconds. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to pirate the last 30 seconds of the game, and we're going to watch this live. We're going to see we're going to get to the bottom of what's going on in this game. Have you seen this? Have you heard about this? Game 1 of the 2025 NBA Finals coming down to the wire here. Hold on, I have to close out of this Jerkmate ad really quick. I'm getting swarmed with just Jerkmate ads. We're at commercial here, folks. Well, we've hit a bit of a lull here in today's episode of the Coping Hour, where we're watching commercials and we're waiting for the game to come back. I was gonna show my phone. I'm not gonna do any free ads for Dunkin' Donuts or for Hyundai. despite the fact that I accidentally did by saying that I wasn't going to do any. Well, while we wait for these commercials to, goddamn, talk about covering all the biggest stories and covering them from all angles. How about the game that is happening right now, but for you, when you're listening to this or when you're watching this, happened like a day ago. But for me, this is the most important thing in the world right now. I mean, I don't know. While we're waiting, within the last... The game's back on. All right, so we got something going on here. Can you guys see this? Here. Damn, this is such a weird episode. So let's watch the game like this. Yeah, here we go. Oh man. So we got a loose ball situation. I think they may be looking for a foul or something. Is this gonna get taken down because I'm showing this? I don't know if I can show this. I don't think I should be doing this. We're gonna push through it. I mean, if the most of you are probably skipping through this part of the show anyways, because you know what happens. So you're waiting for a reaction from me right now. So I should be paying attention because if you are watching this part of the show, I'm talking through this because I don't know if is the audio, are the beams crossing with the audio here? Okay, what do we got? Okay, so Carlisle lost a challenge. We got Oklahoma City ball. What was the score? Was it a one? It was a 1 point game. So you have to foul. No, you don't have to foul here. Wait, 22. You have to foul here. You have to foul here. I kind of honestly just gonna let this play out because if something's I'm just gonna stop talking because I don't think it's well, I guess I'm just commentating on the game. Except I'm not. Okay, so Shea's got the ball. And he's like, he's doing I'm going to dribble out the clock. And there's that Nemhard that's on him. Whoa. Oh, fuck. Whoa. Get the fuck out of here. That's my brother texting me. If you can see that. He said, I can't believe this guy. Whoa. Did they have a timeout? Did they not? Did they have a timeout? That's crazy that if they had it, they didn't. They must not have had it. They must not have had it. What a fucking shot. Holy shit, what a shot. Are you kidding me? Look at that. No, and Richard Jefferson is right. I don't know if you could hear that. I'm sorry. Look at that. Get your shit off. Oh my god, what a shot. Oh my god, what a fucking shot. Are you kidding me? Oh my god, what a shot. Are you kidding me? Wow. I mean, what was there? 3/10 of a second on the clock. Wow. Wow. Big shot Haliburton. Oh my god. What a fucking shot. I mean, all postseason. By the way, most overrated player in the NBA, as voted on by his peers, by fellow NBA players. Most overrated player in the NBA. Just did that in Game 1 of the NBA Finals on the road against a team that almost won 70 damn games. On the motherfucking head of the MVP. Look at that. Look at him getting his shit off. Look at that. Are you kidding me? I guess, yeah. So we got 3/10. Is Indiana about to steal this game? I mean, they are. There's no way. Unless this is like some Aaron Gordon alley-oop shit, right? 3/10. I mean... Yeah, Mike is right. I mean, I guess you can with 3/10. Don't you have to have point... Don't you? I think it's 2/10 is what you need to have. You know, well, we're going to do the timeout bullshit. Yeah, okay. All right. Bizarre. You know, this is this episode's going to be a little bit inflated, the runtime, I reckon, because... most of it is just going to be me stalling and just watching this game live. You talk, man, I know I already made the covering all the biggest stories and covering this from all angles joke already, but I am in real. I mean, this is this is crazy. This is crazy. I can't believe. I feel. You know what is the problem now? Is I just remembered we spent the first like 15 minutes being like, Oh my God, swooning over Oklahoma City. What an asshole. What a dumb motherfucker that guy was. Me from 15 minutes ago, I don't know who that was. I have no idea. I don't know. But I have to leave it in the show. This is honest, independent journalism, independent programming. We are transparent about our process here, and I think sometimes you have to show how you got from A to B on things, even if A was a regrettable position. What matters was your personal revolution. And that is what I feel right now in this moment is, holy shit, I can't believe that Tyrese Haliburton is just, he did it again. And with that, ladies and gentlemen, let's see the conclusion of Game 1 of the NBA Finals. Holy shit. Crazy. 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 Crazy, crazy, crazy. I mean, bonkers. Wow. Pacers fans. Wow, man. Wow. The Indiana Pacers are up a game in the NBA Finals. They steal one on the road in Oklahoma City. Haliburton put up 13 shots. He had 14 points, 6 assists, 10 boards. Yeah, okay. So he didn't get that many shots up. I want to see it. I'm sorry to zag back to the Hornets. I'm sorry to the Thunder, but just since I have the box score up right here. Yeah, Chet took 9 shots. I mean, so he had what, like 2 in the second half? What's going on with that? Why does that happen? I don't get that. I don't understand why that happens. Is it a confidence thing? I think I've made a joke or two about that on here before, where I was like, I don't think he feels good about himself, and so he just doesn't shoot the ball. Thunder fan out there maybe want to give a little bit more nuance to that. I don't know. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander finishes the game with 38 points. This is wicked. This is wicked. I think I'm just going to move on to something else, honestly. I mean, the whole first half, I was thinking to myself, like, okay, so this series is going to come down to, like, TJ McConnell and Pascal Siakam. And, like, the Pacers, at least through the first, like, 2 games, until they, kind of settle into the series and then are back on their home court, they're going to need guys who have, had experience in these big games. I know TJ McConnell hasn't, it's not like but he's just a vet. Like, he's just different. Siakam's the main one, I guess, that I just should have said. They're going to really need to rely on him. And yeah, I mean, he had 19 and 10 in this game, 46% from the field on 15 shots. So hell yeah. Obi Toppin he hit 5 threes in this game. I swear to God, 4 of them were when the Thunder were like right there. They're right there. They were a one stop and made bucket on the opposite end in transition away from avalanching the game. 1 away. And Obi Toppin would always hit a 3 to just keep the Pacers alive, right? He hit like 3 or 4 of those in this game. Obi Toppin's been fucking awesome in the playoffs this year for Indiana. What a weird career he's had. For me specifically, because of how good I thought he was going to be when he was Dayton is where he went to school. I don't know how many articles I wrote at Piston Powered about Obi Toppin. It may have only been like 2, but I just remember that at the time I was really like, I don't know, man, maybe the Pistons, I don't know, maybe, right? I thought he was going to be like a Amari Stoudemire. I really did. And then it just so happened that he was playing for the Knicks, right? The All-Star weekend at the dunk contest when he tried to dunk in Tim's, I was there. It stunk. I have never looked at like the replay of it. I don't know what it looked like on the broadcast. It sucked while it was there because it was not a good All-Star weekend. It was a very cool experience to like see it all live. It was also the weekend of the 75th anniversary, so they did that celebration at halftime of the All-Star game. So I got to see the 75 greatest players of all fucking time, which was sick. Steph had 50 in the All-Star game. So like that part of it was cool. That was also the weekend that we did the Kate interview. So like, yeah, it was a fucking sick weekend. But sorry, I'm saying all that just to say like Obi Toppin, I don't really know what he is. I mean, how your brain works in this situation. It's like you have to compare him to somebody from your childhood. You know what I mean? Like Amari Stoudemire actually is a good example. Like he's not Amari Stoudemire, but like who is he? I can't. Let me try to think of one of the. Thad Young? No. Is it like Diet? No, can I say it out loud? Can you show me grace? I need to say this one out loud. I don't know if I mean it. Diet Jermaine O'Neal? I don't know if I mean it. I don't know. No, if you're going to say it, stand by it or don't. Diet Jermaine O'Neal. Fuck it. Yeah. Without the defense. Well, no, but he's Diet. So yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Little Diet Jermaine O'Neal. Obi Toppin? Sure. Fuck yeah. And he's a pacer too. Good for man. Crazy. I'll leave it at that, I guess. That was your coverage, folks, of game 1 of the 2025 NBA Finals. What a roller coaster that was. Let's do a couple emails here. copingoursubs@gmail.com, spelled phonetically, email available in the description, wherever it is that you listen to this program. Live reading. This came into us 40 minutes ago from Jamal. Jamal, very high volume emailer here at the show. Subject line, Coping Hour Genius Idea. Jamal, welcome back to the show. Hey, Nick, what if you take shrooms on one episode of the show and not say anything and just talk? So that was I blindly read this one, hadn't vetted it, and Jamal, it's not a bad idea. I mean, it would be, you're right in the sense that I would definitely talk. That would definitely get me talking, and I think I could go for a while. The problem would be what kind of trip I had. You know what I mean? Because it would dictate. I would talk no matter what. You know what I mean? It would just be like what I'm talking about and like the direction that goes. Because if I have a bad trip, which I've had a bad trip on shrooms before, and it sucks, it's not fun, bro. It's not fun. I remember what I was saying when I was on that bad trip. And if I did that for 2 fucking hours, I don't know if I would publish it. I don't think I would do that. But then it's like, I did 2 fucking hours, so I would have to, right? That's not a bad idea, I guess. I'm not gonna do it. I don't have a I'm not gonna say I don't have a Shrooms connect. I'm sure between Maddie and I'm sure in Chicago, surely we could find some. I don't know, but I don't want that in the house. I don't really want shrooms in the house. Beer, that's fine. I don't care. Any alcohol, any liquor, whatever. Who cares? A couple bottles of wine, whatever. Who cares? Weed, yeah. I mean, yeah, it's okay. That's fine. Anything else though? I don't know. I just feel guilty about it. It's funny. I guess maybe the psychology of it then is just like if they legalized, if this was like, is it Portland where they have like the dam where they decriminalized a bunch of shit, or isn't that also a thing? And is it like Vancouver or something? I don't know. Somewhere in Canada did something too. And these like open drug markets, or I don't know. I don't know. It's a whole spider web of shit that I don't know. Whatever. What the fuck was I about to say? Sorry. I said spider web. And then I started thinking of the Ukrainian operation that they just ran. It's Operation Spiderweb. Sorry. So in my head, I did a little thing, and I started thinking about something else, and I stopped. I was not listening to myself, and I don't remember. So okay, fucking let's just do it then. I wasn't gonna. I'm sorry. I said I shouldn't have brought it up, but I'm just gonna do it. So have you seen this? Have you heard about this? Ukraine launched its deepest attack into Russian territory since the start of the war. I mean, literally ever, but since the start of the war a couple years ago. And how they did it was pretty fucking wild. Like not quite like James Bond style, but definitely like a Jason Statham, or like a Fast and Furious style operation. They just drove a bunch of trucks into Russia, and they had drones hidden inside of them. And then once they got to like certain destinations all throughout the country, like at completely different points of the country, like one area was, I think, 6,000 miles away from the Ukrainian border. So like deep into Russia, like close to fucking Siberia. And so these trucks got close, and then as soon as they did, like the tops of the trucks like opened up, and the drones just fucking flew out, and they just flew into a bunch of planes, and like the planes that are able to like deliver like nuclear payloads and shit like that. And so it's a huge blow to like Russia's ability to I'm on a medium roll there. It's not like a blow to their nuclear arms, but also a little bit because they don't have as many means of fuck, man. I don't know. Like doing bombs and doing nukes and shit like that now, right? And what was weird was Russia, Putin did not acknowledge it for like 6 days, said nothing about it. Russian state media, crickets. One station read like a little 40-second thing, and they were just kind of like, yeah, and it was kind of weird, and there was a fire or some bullshit, but everything's fine, and don't worry about it. Putin just hasn't said anything about it, which is interesting. And then the only reason that we found out what Putin even acknowledging it, was because Trump posted on Truth Social. He's like, I just talked to Vladimir Putin for an hour and 15 minutes. And he said something to the effect of like, and he said that he like has to retaliate. He has to do something crazy. Yeah. So Ukraine does that, and they blow up a bunch of planes with drones. The footage is really funny. So it was such a coordinate. It's just a beautiful coordination. Very, honestly, it was kind of some Call of Duty shit, honestly. Ukraine does that, and then the next day they blow up a bunch of bridges in Kursk, and then the day after that they're blowing shit up in Crimea, and they're like, maybe this can be ours again. So it's like 3 days in a row of Ukraine just like kicking the shit out of Russia. And then it was Zelensky that was like, hey man, there's no need to keep all this bullshit up. We can put the guns down right now. It's so goddamn funny. The day that they did Operation Spiderweb, like last week, it was like 2 hours before they were supposed to have like like diplomatic talks in fucking Munich or something. And so they showed up to that, and they were like, oh man, anything on the news? You hear anything interesting? You read anything interesting on Telegram? Russian diplomat? Anything going on? Which was another thing, is like during like the fallout of Operation Spiderweb, like even Telegram channels were like going dark, and nobody was talking about nukes anymore. And it was like, so yeah, that was the thing. I guess that in conjunction with the Trump and Elon shit, and also Trump had the damn German chancellor in the Oval Office today. I watched like the last 30 minutes of that. Yeah, it's not that interesting. Trump did do something wild though. It was interesting to watch a politician play ball with Trump a little bit. So this guy, the German chancellor, what's his last name? Merz. They're talking about World War II, and like that D-Day is coming up. It's the day that this is coming out. And Trump he interjects, and he's like, that was not a good day for you guys. Whoa. And the chancellor is like, yeah, I guess it wasn't back then. And then he immediately corrects himself, and he's like, well, he goes, it is good though, because it liberated us, like the German people, from like a Nazi regime. And Trump's like, yeah, that's right. He goes, maybe you owe us. And he goes, yeah, like we owe you big time, or some bullshit like that. And I was like, no, don't say that to him. Don't fucking say that to him. So it was like, did you say that on purpose? Did you use those words specifically, or did you just use them because he used them? You know what I mean? Did Trump use them because he was, you know what I'm referencing here? I'm referencing all of the Zelensky shit, right? I just wonder that, how much Trump loves like political favors and shit like that. So that would be funny if Donald Trump strong arms Germany into being like, hey, that thing that happened, that conflict that happened 80 years ago, remember that? We're still a little mad about that. Could you wet our beak a little bit? Okay. Alrighty, folks. I don't know. So here's I'm going to tell you something that's happening in real time. Well, no, actually, no. We can do one more email. copingoursubs@gmail.com, spelled phonetically, email available in the description, wherever it is that you listen to this program. We've done so many Wizards segments lately. Way too many. I don't like the team. I don't like the uniforms. I don't think the Wizards is a cool name. I've never liked them. But a lot of you who listen to the show and interact with the show are Wizards fans. And most notably, Bathroom Tom, a.k.a. Wizards fans, Tom. Some of you may know him by his preferred nomenclature, Hot Tom, is a Wizards fan. And an interesting, the Bathroom Tomiverse has sort of expanded a little bit. Something interesting happened. A new character may be entering the fold here. This is Bathroom Tom's friend, Clark. Now, I'm going to be honest with you, Clark. Brother, I didn't read all of this because it's kind of long. And it's about the Wizards. So if you start to lose me on this email, I'm going to try to give you the benefit of the doubt because Bathroom Tom is it's because he's involved in this, you're kind of getting some grace, okay? But there is still some sort of a leash, so I'm going to pull the plug if I have to. You got to really pull me in with this email because I also didn't really vet this one either, okay? Clark, welcome to the show, brother. Subject line, help me settle an argument with Bathroom Tom. Hi, Nick. Recurring character of your show, Bathroom Tom, is my best friend. We went to high school together and are both diehard Wizards fans. Lately, we've been having discussions surrounding the state of our beloved Wiz and how we are feeling about the rebuild and current management. I am of the opinion that we are doing the right thing. Yes, back-to-back sub-20 win seasons is brutal, but this is a breath of fresh air for us. Ever since the heralded 2016-2017 season, the best of our lifetimes, by the way, which was a 49-win team, the Zards. Never heard that one before. The fucking Zards. You made that shit up. Nobody fucking calls them that. Let's get back to the email. The Wizards have put out mediocre to average teams that maybe slipped into an 8-seed or 135-ish games and missed the playoff/play-in. There's about 5-6 years of this monotony. We finally fire Ernie Grunfeld after 16 years of inept management, only to replace him with Tommy Shepard, who had worked as his assistant the entire time. Our team had a very low ceiling, had the same shitty front office, and was never good enough to contend, but never bad enough to fall into good talent in the draft. Now, for the first time in essentially our entire lives, the Wizards fired their entire front office and brought in new management, completely clean slate. Immediately, they start trading whatever assets they can, stockpiling picks and young players, and committed to a rebuild. I was overjoyed. It finally seemed like we had a sense of direction. On the other hand, our mutual acquaintance Tom is not happy with our current situation. He claims that our rookies are all terrible and they only put up respectable statistics because of how much they played. And then in parentheses, you said these are 19-year-olds, close parentheses. He claims he is sick of seeing us as the worst roster in the league and does not feel we should continue to settle for being this terrible. Instead, Tom says we need to use money in free agency in an effort to improve our win total to the high 20s to 30s. I'd love to hear your thoughts on this situation, although I do apologize for potentially making the Wizards a talking point on your show during the NBA Finals. Yeah. Keep up the good work. Yeah, thank you, Clark. Well, just to focus on one thing that you said at the end here. Tom wants to use money. He wants to use money to go after guys in free agency. Yeah, I guess you can, but that's just not really where you get guys anymore. You know, I guess if you're using it, if you're looking at it through the lens of we're not trying to get a guy in free agency that gets us to the fucking playoffs. We're trying to get a guy on our roster who gets us to 35 wins. You know what I mean? Yeah, you can probably find that guy in free agency, right? Like the Pistons getting Jeremy Grant a couple of years ago. There was a world where actually they probably won close to 35. I don't remember. They were probably winning close to 35 games with Jeremy Grant. There's no way that's true. That can't be true. I don't know. But a guy like that, you understand what I'm saying. There was a world where however many games that they could have been better than they actually were because he was a good player for us, right? So, okay, I guess you could do that. The rookies aren't bad. The young guys they're not bad. They're not bad. That's weird that Tom thinks that. I don't, I've kind of done the Alex Sarr spiel, umpteen times. If you listen to the show, I love Bilal Coulibaly. I don't know. I like the Wizards right now. I think it is a damn shame that they didn't get Cooper Flag. I think it's a damn shame. I thought it was going to happen. I really did. And instead they don't even get like Harper or Bailey. Like they just it stinks. It's a loaded draft. We're going to do like a draft special, by the way. I'm excited for that. We will do like a draft special and we'll go over the top like 10, 15 guys or something like that. I haven't done one of those on any show in a couple of years. I'm sure we did one on the Bun and Cardigan show at some point. I think we actually just kind of did that off and on for like months and months, like just throughout kind of the year. We didn't really ever do something at the end of the year, but yeah, I don't know, man. I don't know. I would say the worst roster in the league, the Wizards? No, it's the Hornets. I think it sounds like whatever Tom thinks that the Wizards are, it's actually the Hornets. It's them. Now, it may be the Wizards right after them. Maybe. I don't think that nothing about the Nets. By the way, this is me being a hater because the Nets like have their picks and they have money, I think. And so, did I just say the Knicks? If I did, I meant to say the Nets. The Nets are actually doing fine. The Nets aren't like, in a bad, they might get fucking Giannis. Like, I don't know. Who knows? Right. But I just think their roster is a bunch of fucking losers. Minus Nick Claxton. Cam Thomas is cool. He's really fun and I like him, but I don't think he'll ever be on a team that does anything ever, which is fine because every team just kind of who's like is like that, like a Ty Lawson type guy. I think Ty Lawson played on too many like 50 win teams for that to be true, but just something like that. I don't know. There's just a guy who sometimes those guys just exist. I like him a lot. Charlotte though, gee fucking whiz. They stink. Losers. Top to bottom. And it's another situation of like, I think LaMelo rocks. I think he rules. But he's a loser. I don't think he'll ever be on a team that ever does anything. Ever. The Wizards aren't. I don't think they're the worst. Okay, folks. Spotify. I love you guys. I don't have a question. Apple Podcasts. What's up? If you are watching this on YouTube, be sure to leave a like, subscribe, nice little comment for the algorithm. Make sure to keep primary control in check. And I will catch you guys in the next one.